Meathead, meat paw having, Donald Trump, dick, meat riding, Chris Cuomo did a thing. He fell for a deep fake like a old school boomer, and he stuck his foot in his mouth. And then he doubled down on it, and then he doubled down on that. So, just complete moron. Anyway, he's had a back and forth with AOC about this, and I'm not sure if you've seen the deep fake in question, but it is pretty damn obvious that it is a deep fake. And it makes him look even more like a moron. And the whole thing, it was... Chris Cuomo is under the impression that AOC is the kind of person that would go on the House floor and talk about a culture war thing. And he's probably what happened is he saw something on Twitter and immediately said, well, that's something that AOC would do on the House floor is bitch and complain about Sydney Sweeney. And I'm going to give her a little tongue lashing on Twitter and let's see what she's got to say about that. Anyway, I'm not 100% sure if you've actually seen this particular deep fake, but like I said, it is pretty damn obvious. Let's have a look at it. It's so ridiculous.
He looks like an Aryan goddess. And the American Eagle Jeans campaign is blatant Nazi propaganda. I mean, fuck. Watching that sultry little temptress squeeze into a Canadian tuxedo, 3 sizes too small.
I mean, if you look at it, you can see that the lips aren't matching up at all.
Bouncy little fun bags on the screen staring at you, piercing through the core of your soul with those ocean blue eyes that could resurrect the Fuhrer from his grave in Argentina, is something that should alarm every American citizen. Because in America, beauty is not defined by whiteness. Oh no, it is defined by the number of victim groups of which you are a member. Skinny, attractive, blonde-haired, blue-eyed cisgender women descend from the slave daddy oppressors of this nation. And any man who cranks one out while thinking about a woman like this probably hates black people, probably hates gay people, and they certainly hate the diversity of our great nation. So I say, instead of simping for the Sydneys, we should be celebrating the Shaniquas. Instead of worshiping the hot, straight blonde, what about the obese alphabet, people with blue hair? They need love too. And to all the haters who say companies that go woke, go broke, I'd rather be poor than a fucking Nazi.
Well, I do agree with that one last sentiment. I would rather be poor than a fucking Nazi. But I mean, if you listen to it, first of all, if you just look at it with your eyes, you see that the lips aren't matching up with the words that are coming out. But if you listen to the words of, what this AI thing is doing, it is obviously uber racist, talking about the Shaniquas and then, of course, the blue-haired alphabet, we hate the trans. So obviously this was done by just a pervy little fascist who is all horned up to see AOC and Sydney Sweeney fucking make out. I mean, they have the Republicans have a psychosexual kind of connection with AOC. She's a pretty woman and they hate her. And I mean, we've seen it over and over again, like cartoon depictions of forcing AOC to do sexual things to people. It's really nasty. Anyway, Chris Cuomo, he's on News Nation. And, ever since his fall from grace on CNN for doing that corrupt little thing with his brother during COVID, he is now on this internet station called News Nation. And it is, I don't know, it's a propaganda warehouse. It's got a lot of conspiracies. And then Chris Cuomo has got a show on there where he, gets up there and starts talking his news nonsense. Anyway, he addresses his fuck up on his show at the very end of his show. You notice right here, it's all the way at the fucking end of his show. And this is the part where he says, oh, I'm sorry, I screwed up. And if he just stopped there, that would be fine. But then he just goes on into just ridiculous shit. Have a listen.
You're listening? I was wrong. I was tweeting today and saw a clip of AOC saying that Sydney Sweeney ad was racist. And so I replied to it and I said, why do you care about this? And
see, that's the thing. On the picture here, let me show you the picture here. This picture right here, this is his. Nothing but Hamas or people burning Jews' cars, but Sydney Sweeney ads. Deserve time on floor of Congress. What happened to this party? Fight for small business, not small culture wars. That was his comment on this particular, this deep fake. And if you read it right here, it literally says Chat GPT memes. It's fucking right there. In the title, it says AOC says Sydney Sweeney Jean's campaign is racist. So I don't even think that Chris Cuomo actually watched the video. He just saw this and it was enough of a trigger for him to just go ahead and I'm going to reach out to her because I got a fucking hate boner for AOC. So anyway, she answers him back with, this is a deep fake, dude. Please use your critical thinking skills. At this point, you are just reposting Facebook memes and calling it journalism. Yeah, man, absolutely. He's like boomer dad over here, completely fooled by what he sees on the inner Googles and just goes off on a fucking tangent. The guy's a fucking moron. He is an epic moron. Like I've said before, if I was Mario Cuomo, his and Andrew Cuomo's dad, I would be rolling over in my fucking grave because these two sellout whores are a complete disgrace. Complete disgrace. One is selling his ass to billionaires so he can be mayor, and the other one is selling bullshit so he can get clout and clicks on fucking News Nation. Anyway, let's see how far he goes with this melodramatic nonsense.
What matters most? Why, in all the times that you've called on Israel to stop, why have you never told Hamas to stop?
He saw that deep fake, and his first thought was to go, why aren't you talking about, Hamas? Why aren't you out on the House floor? Honey, she wasn't on the House floor talking about any of this shit. This is just in your own fucking mind, your own feeble little imagination. This has got nothing to do with fucking Hamas, for God's sakes, man. You have been hanging out with way too many psychotic Republicans, and look how far you've fallen.
Hamas to surrender. Why would you ignore the St. Louis attack on that Jewish guy who had his car bombed?
Why would you ignore the 5-year-old who got stabbed a fucking dozen times by his 70-year-old landlord? This was happened like a year ago. He stabbed the little 5-year-old kid because he was Palestinian. And this is a Fox News grandpa that lost his fucking mind. Hey, Chris Cuomo, how about the 2 Jewish guys in a car that got shot by a Zionist because they thought that since they were dark-skinned Jewish people, that they were Palestinian? How come you don't talk about that shit, man? How come you're not talking about the starving kids, the bombs being dropped, the bullets being shot, the mass genocide and ethnic cleansing that we are watching right in front of our faces? But do you condemn Hamas? Fuck you. Fuck you, Chris.
AOC tweeted back and said, dude, that's a deep fake, that Sydney Sweeney ad. You suck, in so many words.
No, honey, she didn't say that. Let's go back to it, shall we? She didn't say in so many words. She goes, dude, that's a deep fake. Please use your critical thinking skills. At this point, you're just reposting Facebook memes and calling it journalism. She didn't say, you suck, in so many words. She called you out by your fucking name. And your name is Meathead. Oh, shit. I hit the wrong fucking thing. Sorry.
She was right. They got me. AI. It was really good, and it did seem like something she would say, but it wasn't her. So I thanked AOC for correcting me. But I then reminded her, she ignored the part of the tweet that mattered, okay?
The part of the tweet that you imagined that she should be saying on the House floor. This was a deep fake, dog. And by the way, she has condemned Hamas many fucking times for what happened on October 7th. But yet again, I will reiterate that every day after October 7th has been another October 7th committed by Bibi Netanyahu and the fucking IDF. The question does not stand, man. You are just trying to get her to pay attention to you because you've got some kind of sick little crush. Because she busted you, she went to New York and endorsed Zoran Mamdani against your brother's chances of becoming mayor of New York City, and he fucking lost. And guess what? He still ain't gone away. Now he's a fucking independent. But you are still sore about that because you're a bitch, man. You're just a bitch.
Not Sweeney, which really should have never been a thing, let's be honest. Why did AOC, the most popular Democrat in the country, powerful, reportedly ignore what I asked about calling on Hamas to surrender?
Because you are not all that, dog, man. Why does she have to just jump to every time you fucking add her on Twitter? Who the fuck do you think you are, man? She is a United States Congresswoman. You are a fucking internet podcaster and a brother to a disgraced ex-governor. You suck, man. She didn't say you suck. I said it.
War they started. She has never said that I could find. Think about that.
Think about that. She never condemned Hamas, not that I could find. You didn't look fucking hard. God damn, man, this guy's an idiot.
Question about saying nothing about the American IDF soldier who returned home only to have his car firebombed in America by anti-Semites. Why? Why wouldn't you say anything about that? She was also
probably because we are so busy looking at starving children in Gaza, man. Maybe she didn't see it. Maybe there doesn't need to be an excuse. Maybe you are just fucking clout farming. Do we need to hear any more of this drivel?
On the New York Times posting a picture of a Gazan boy with
yeah, he's got cerebral palsy. Why? Because his mother was malnourished while she was pregnant with the fucking kid. And okay, so you're saying that this right here, this child, you know, this is all fake news, yada, yada, yada. What about all the other starving kids? I've seen videos of hundreds of kids who are starving and they don't have cerebral palsy, man. What is your excuse for that? God damn, man, suck a dick. I'm moving on. I wanted to show you this too. This was another rebuttal. He retorted to that, hey, bro, that's a fucking deep fake. You're Facebook memeing again. And he goes, you are correct. That is a deep fake, but it really does sound like you. No, honey, it doesn't sound like her. First of all, I don't even think that you looked at it. I think that you just saw this and it said AOC says Sydney Sweeney Jean's campaign is racist. And you thought, oh, that tracks. She's a libtard. She must have said that. That's on you. That's not on her. Thank you for correcting. But now to the central claim. Show me you calling on Hamas to surrender. Honey, Hamas has offered to leave Gaza, drop their weapons, give up the hostages, as long as Bibi Netanyahu said that he was not going to invade and reoccupy Gaza. That's already a done deal, man. It's already a done deal. And Israel's told them to fuck off, and now, as we speak, they are reoccupying Gaza. God damn, man. They act like this war started on October 7th and nothing ever happened beforehand. That Gaza has been an open-air prison for the last, since 2006. Yeah, man, they moved all of their people out. And then they put a fence around Gaza. Then they put armed guards around it. You're not allowed to go in the water. You don't have any air rights. You don't have any, you're not allowed to bring food in without Israel's, permission. You're not allowed to get water. You're not allowed to get electricity, medicine, anything. It has to be approved and let in by Israel. So, yeah, man, we left Gaza, man. They got their freedom to do whatever they want, except beg us for food, water, and medicine and electricity. God damn. How many times I got to do this? the address of the bombing of the car in St. Louis belonging to the IDF American soldier. Well, yeah. And you never said anything about the 5-year-old kid who got stabbed by his fucking landlord because he was watching Fox News and thought, oh my God, this little kid's a Palestinian. He's going to grow up to be a future Hamas member. And, you know, Janine Pirro was screaming between glasses of wine. And I decided I'm going to go out there and do something about it and stabbed a fucking 5-year-old kid. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Anyway, AOC answered him back in AOC fashion, not getting emotional like me, but just keeping it chill. I'm going to assume that you were trying to reply to me and burp this tweet out into the ether instead. You seem to struggle with knowing how to write an apology. Yeah, he said at the beginning of the video, I was wrong. I didn't hear him say, I'm sorry. He still didn't say he was sorry. Doubling down on that. Do you need help? Maybe you should call someone. It was very clever. Anyway, News Nation Chris Cuomo roasted after falling for AOC Sydney Sweeney deepfake. Yeah, you Republican motherfuckers. He didn't used to be a Republican. He used to be on CNN. He was like a centrist, you know, a fence-riding centrist. But now he's gone full MAGA. All he does is interview right-wingers. He's fucking lost his mind. Anyway, her answer to that was burped. You can do better. This is his answer to her. Burp, you can do better. What did you want her to say? You shat it out? You know, you vomited it up? Is that better? You are a New Yorker. I am sorry I didn't listen to the whole clip. You didn't even listen to a second of it, because if you'd have listened to a second and used those 2 brain cells that you still have left rattling around between your ears, you would have gone, oh, okay, this is fake as fuck. Unless you're completely blind. I'm sorry I didn't listen to the whole clip. Obviously wrong. I do struggle to understand why you don't tell. He still won't go. He still will not stop with the whole tell Hamas to surrender. You have ducked it repeatedly. Do you apologize for that? Do you apologize for Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Hey, look at all these starving kids over here. Do you condemn Hamas? Look at all the buildings that have been leveled, and the UN, food delivery vehicles, and UNRWA, and hospitals, and schools, and blown up children, and body parts laying everywhere. But do you condemn Hamas? Oh man, go fuck yourself. Seriously. Anyway, Chris Cuomo, God damn it, man. Get a life. Go outside, touch some grass, breathe some fresh air. I don't know, man. You need to get off the internet for a while, because you are suffering from internet brain rot. I've never seen anything like this. It's not just him. It's all over the country. But I mean, somebody with a platform like this talking to, millions of people, and yet he does not know his ass from his elbow. And I mean, I'll give it up to AOC for, placating to him and trying to treat him with kid gloves. But honestly, at this particular point, if I was AOC, I would just ignore his dumb ass. For God's sakes, the reason why she came out the first time was that you were spreading this bullshit deepfake. It's already out there. And then you, with your big voice and your big, your large amount of viewers, you're shoving it out there to them too. So now you're spreading the bullshit lie and the deep fake. So she reached out to you to go, hey man, this is bullshit. What are you doing? And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was wrong. So do you condemn Hamas? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Anyway, Chris Cuomo, get a fucking life. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.